Well, it's Friday once again here at the workshop, so you'll be seeing this video on Sunday. Had quite a busy week. Got the Americana built, good progress on one of the Plexi 18s. Got the Ainsley signature on the test bench, which we've just finished signing off, so you'll see video of that. And I'm working on those fuzzes too. So yeah, I've only got 2 weeks left after this before Christmas, so I'm trying to get as much done as possible. Really busy, but yeah, hope you enjoy this week's video. Progress on the Americana build. The chassis is now half populated, so we've got the transformers in, the power transformer, the output transformer, and the reverb transformer are in. The sockets are all done as well. IEC sockets in, and we've got some hardware on the inside as well, so we can start to do some chassis wiring on that. I've also populated the board, so that's ready to go. Next job is to do any underboard connections, which the way I like to do it is I like to do all my grounds on the underside, so should one of them come undone, it's not going to cause any problems. I can always fix it from the top side. And then I do all my twisties and my flying leads on the top side of the board, so that'll be signal, power, things like that. So yeah, good progress on the Americana build. I'm trying to get this one out before Christmas, so trying to make good progress on this one. Do you remember this Vice British Invasion amp that came in? It was actually a year ago, last December. It hadn't been switched on for 2 years, if I remember, and it just needed a check over, make sure it was all good to go. Well, he's brought it in today for a couple of jobs. First thing is it's only got an 8-ohm speaker out on the back, so we're going to see if we can add a 16-ohm. I think you can. I think there's a tap. So we're going to do that. And he also wants to investigate the possibility of adding reverb to the unit, because it has a dial already for it. So I've got to go through the build manual for this, because this was a kit amp. See if I can find out exactly where or what I've got to do to add reverb to this amplifier. But the first job is to get that 16-ohm socket fitted, tested and installed. Once we've done that, we'll then look at reverb. Okay, so looking through the build documentation for this amplifier, it's got the 50 watt output transformer 014A. That's the one that's actually installed in this amplifier. And the 16 ohm wire is pink, the 8 ohm is blue, and the grey is 4. So let's have a look what we've got. Well, here's our 8 ohm socket. And we've got the common and the blue, which is the 8 ohm coming from the output transformer. Okay, so that's wired up correctly. We've got the grey wire here, which is 4 ohm, all bundled up. So we're going to tidy that up because we don't want to use that. And the pink wire comes through to here onto the board, which is using the 16 ohm tap for negative feedback. So we've got a 16 ohm tap on this transformer that we can use. So all I've got to do is add a socket there, label it up correctly. We can just print another sticker off, connect that up there, and then I'm going to have to run I'm going to move this wire from underneath the board back through here and along here, and then run a flying lead over to that eyelet there, because we still want to retain negative feedback. Okay, the other thing is there is the layout diagram for this amplifier to have reverb. So if I spin it around like this, you can see it kind of matches up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this and check everything out and see what I've got to add where, if possible, to make this a reverb amplifier. Right, I've finished building this Americana. So yesterday, which was Wednesday, I had 0 interruptions, 0 phone calls, hardly any emails to answer. So I just got my head down. on the bench and carried on wiring this up, and I got it done. So really, really happy with the way this one has turned out. A couple of the things I want to tidy up. As usual, it's all par for the course, nothing to worry about. But I've now got it running on the test bench. That's the sine wave, and it's putting out 12.8, 13-ish. It's just burning in now, so around 13 volts RMS into 8 ohms, which puts us at 21 watts. So bang on where it should be. GZ34, pair of 6L6s, onboard reverb, same as the LP, but this is the high power version. And this is our push-pull half power switch. So that drops that down to 7.6, which is about, I don't know, 7.5, 8 watts. So really happy with that. Sounds great. Super stoked with the way this one's turned out. So cabinets here, the speaker is just turned up, WGS G12A Alnico speaker. All I'm waiting on is for the faceplates to arrive. They should be here hopefully tomorrow, and then we can get this one all boxed up, finished up, shipped out. This one is also going to Coda Music, so they should have that by the tail end of next week. But yeah, super happy with it. Just measuring the bias on it, ended up at 29.6 and 29.9 watts dissipation per side. 6L6s, as you know, 30 watts each. So for a cathode biased amp, 100% is bang on, kind of where you want them. Got no crossover distortion. So yeah, this one is running exactly as I wanted it to. So super happy with that. If the bias was too hot, all I have to do is change this large green resistor here. It's currently 150 ohms. Next one up is 180, so we just swap that in, and that would bring the bias down to where we to a safe level. But don't need to on this. It's exactly where I want it to be. 240 volt model, all running great. Going to leave this now for. I'm going to leave it running for the rest of the day, although I will heat cycle it at least twice, I think, just to make sure everything is fine and happy. We can retake the measurements once it's been through that burning process, make sure it's all sweet and ready to go. So I'm just working on this Plexi 18 build. You remember I've got two of them on the go at the moment. One of them is going to America and the other is going to Norway. So good progress on this one so far. I've been working on the chassis, doing all the wiring and bits and pieces. I'm pretty much done everything I can so far, so the next job is to do my flying leads and twisties on the board, and then we can get that installed into the chassis and the rest of it wired up, and we can call that one good. But you may have seen on my social media that I finally converted to Knipex tools. Everyone told me they're amazing, but I didn't want to believe it. I tried all the other brands, and recently I've been using these Ecutronics side cutters. They were really good out the box, but the more I used them, you know, the more they started to wear. They started to be a bit skew-if. It lost the spring. You know, the handles slide off quite easily, which is no good. Waste of space. So I did it. I bought myself a pair of Knipex, and these things are unbelievable. You wouldn't believe how good they are. They haven't blunted. The spring's still intact, and it's probably got 2 full weeks worth of amp building out of them now. They're great on the hand, really comfy. You can use them all sorts of the way, and I haven't had any stripped or bent wires. So yeah. My top tip for you, if you're interested in amp building, is don't mess around, get a pair of Knipex. exactly where we always have it.
Okay. Is there like a particular spot now, is it?
Yeah.
In the middle. I can't place it on the
So what we do for everyone watching is we run all of the new amps through Ainsley's touring speaker, so we know what that amp will sound like once the speaker has broken in, which is incredibly important. Yeah?
Yeah. Sounds more musical. It's broken in.
Good tone. Nice tails, isn't it?
Yeah,
Reverb.
yeah. Reverb's always been really good. Yeah, it's kind of got that. It never gets in the way. It's quite dark, but it lasts a while.
Really cool.
Quite good.
So that's another Ainsley Lister signature amplifier completed, all done. Ainsley's given it the go-ahead. I'm happy with it. I think it sounds great. Just got to get the faceplates on it, into the cabinet, speaker, reverb tank, all the usual stuff. I'll show you all of that to you next week. But yeah, this one is done. So these are the germanium NPN transistors that I'm using for those 69 fuzz faces. They're nice. That's all I've got. That's my stash. Haven't got any more after that. Anyway, just sorting through them. Each pedal has two of them in, and you want the lowest gain one in position 1 and one that's got a higher HFE in position 2. So I've got this device. A lot of you would have seen these before. The Atlas DCA55. And all you do is to test the transistor. So I'm going to try and do this one-handed. Is you connect up the 3 leads, red, green and blue. It doesn't matter which order, it automatically works out what's going on. So you just connect them up, like so. Once that's connected, press the on button, and it instantly starts analysing the transistor. And it's come up correct as an NPN germanium transistor. Perfect, that's what it should be. And it tells me the red wire is the emitter, green's collector, blue is base. It's telling me this one has a HFE of 164, which for one of these is actually quite high. So, and it then tells me the test current, the base to emitter voltage, and the test current across there, and any leakage. So I can use this to go through all the transistors and sort them out and test them, and make sure I'm using the right ones in the right position. Now, as with any tool, and I say this about a lot of test equipment, you take everything it says with a pinch of salt, and the test results are only relative to anything else you've tested with that same piece of gear. So if I had a different transistor tester, it might give me different results, but I can't use that to compare all of these. I've got to test them all on the same equipment and use that data to know what's going on with all of those. But yeah, there they are. These are, hopefully we can zoom in on those. CV7351s, mil-spec, germanium, NPN transistors that are going in those fuzz faces, which have all sold out. Well, that's it then, guys. Thank you very much for watching once again. Please give this video a thumbs up, comments down below, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know how it works by now. You know the score. And I shall catch you all at the next one. So what speakers in the white cab?
We've got a Celestian Gold there, or there, and an early 70s G12H. So it's like the 30-watt greenback.
So that's the heavy cone, if it's the H. Sorry, the heavy magnet.
Yeah.
And has it got the low resonance cone, or is it the
55 hertz cone?
So it is the low res cone.
Yeah.
Ah.
Nerd talk.
Yeah. But that's interesting. That.
Yeah. Well, they work really well together because the gold is 100 dB, so it's a little bit more, it's got a bit more sensitivity, but it's a lot thicker in the mid-range. And the G12H is a bit more like that, so they kind of complement each other in the same way that a 25-watt greenback and a 30-watt work.
Yeah, that's a good combo.
This is just the louder version. It's definitely loud. It's louder now.